I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do.
Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Wednesday night card, our only Wednesday night of the season, as we do lead into Oaks and Derby Day on the upcoming weekend. But we do have a 6 o'clock first post. And
our last night of the year, actually.
Yes, great.
We finished our last Friday night last Friday after a great run of Friday nights throughout the month of August, and now this will be our last time under the lights all year. And as Mike mentioned, big weekend coming up with the BC Derby Day on Saturday, BC Oaks, the Futurities, the
six
older
stakes
horse
races.
stakes.
Then we get into the horse sale.
Next week.
Next Tuesday at Thunderbird Show Park at 3 o'clock. The preview is on Monday at 3 o'clock.
We have our preview here at the Derby Bar and Grill Thursday night.
Thursday at 6 o'clock. Right here at the Derby Bar and Grill, so please do come on out. You can bring your questions about any questions about the catalog, about getting into horse ownership or anything. Please do come on out, and it's always a fun night.
Yep.
And try and add a little insight to the catalog, and hopefully there's a lot of incentives involved in buying a horse at the sale too. I know they're giving away $2,500 to any BC bred that gets purchased, and there's a lot of interesting little incentives to get people interested in getting them in the game.
And a good book this year.
It is really good. It's a lot of nice Kentucky sires, as well as a new freshman sire, Bakken.
He's got a bunch in there. Yeah.
He's loaded in the catalog, and but the catalogs are available here at the Derby Bar and Grill, as well as at Hastings Racecourse, and of course at the CTHS office in Langley. But it's fast approaching the sale.
It'll be here before you know it. One week today, as of taping.
Yep.
As Mike mentioned, we do have 7 races on the Wednesday night card. Basically, for sure, the feature is the first race. Yeah, this optional 35 for 3 and up, Colts and Geldings. Field of 5, and a tough field of 5 it is. I went to the outside horse, a newcomer here to Hastings. Just ran a 16 non-3, won by 6.5 in 116 flat. That is Papa. He was, the name really gets me every time. Papa. He was claimed that day by Steve Bryant, off trainer Phil Hall. They actually had him entered for 8 non-3. Yeah. It's one of these horses that wasn't.
See why Phil wins some races.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
Won an amazing 30-odd% clip.
He's one of these horses that wasn't running very good down at Santa Anita, and they've come up here and they've blossomed. Had him in an 8 non-3. They scratched him, brought him back for 16. He's my pick in this 35. He will have more company on the head end though. That could be his undoing, but as quick as he ran the last one, I got to go with him. Mm-hmm. Hanson's Victory's had a very good year. He could sit just behind Dashing Dawn and Papa and get a really dream trip here. And he's had a good year, as I mentioned. He's a 2-time winner basically at this level already this year. Aaron Grider rides him. And I threw in Dashing Dawn. Sure. 3 for 5 this year. He's kind of the now horse. 2 in a row, one for both for 25. His last 2 sprinting, going long. He does everything. Really versatile horse, Dashing Dawn. I went 5-1-4 in the opener.
I had the same 3 horses. I went to Hanson's Victory on top, though. I think the rail will be a great spot for this horse. He might even be able to get the lead in here. He is fast enough, and we'll see how it plays out. But I thought Hanson's Victory was pretty live, shortening up off of those. He went 46, 110 and change, going along, going a mile and an eighth. And of course, he succumbed from all the closers came in. Calgary Caper and Coulterberry, and he's back in sprinting it. I prefer him going long, but I think he can sprint with these horses. Hanson's Victory's live. I agree with the 4 Dashing Dawn. He's just been ultra sharp and continues to do good things. And Papa, sky's the limit for him. I mean, 116 flat, one of the fastest, probably the fastest. I haven't seen a 115 and 4 this year. So
no, that's
116 is the fastest time of the year.
It's tied at least.
Yeah, and Richard Hamill will be aboard for the big fly. Stables and Steve Bryant, all 3 are really close. I don't know. I went 1-4-5.
I would have all 3 on my early pick 4. Yeah.
On to race number 2, maiden special weight for 2-year-olds here, going 6 1/2 furlongs.
Kicking off the pick 5. We were just talking about
22,000 and change carryover. So you could see this, be a $50,000 pool at the end of it. We'll see how it does play out. But
and a bit of a cruel race to start it off with. The 2-year-olds is a tough one to start it off with. You might want to go deep in here.
I ended up on the 4, Drew. I went to Whiskey Bound. I thought some troubled trips in his last 2. Yeah. And they tried him in blinkers last time. He showed way better speed. He was right up. He actually outbroke a lot of the speed, but Sabachi chose to take him just off the pace. And he sat in behind the runners, and he followed some dead speed, and he just couldn't get out. Call It a Wrap kept him pinned in. Aaron Greider rode a great race on Call It a Wrap and just would not let Whiskey Bound out, and he ended up never getting clear sailing to the past, I would think, the final at least quarter of a mile. And so Whiskey Bound has better form than it looks like on paper. Definitely the one to come and catch will be the 6-horse Explode. This one did battle with Numani's Reward through some pretty tough fractions, going 6 panels last time. But this horse was very game in losing to Call It a Wrap, who, of course, did come back to win the sales stake, defeating Whiskey Bound. But I thought those were your 2 horses. And then I threw in the 2-horse Dat Day, who was very good in his debut. In his second start, he did act up a bit in the gate. He's been given a little bit of time off, almost 2 months.
Yeah, he was entered on BC Cup Day. He scratched that day.
Yeah, but he's come back with a couple of good works, and I think that day's worth a look as well. But I thought 4 and 6 were the horses, and I ended up 4, 6 and 2. I left with Irish Charlie. I thought he was really pace aided last time.
Yeah, 21 and 2.
There was a crazy pace, and the race absolutely collapsed, and he still could barely get second. It just, I don't know, I just didn't fancy the horse. He could come up and bite me, but he's a nice horse as well, but I just thought I preferred others. I went 4, 6, 2.
Well, you got to throw Craig McPherson has a 5 in here, so he's coming out with numbers, but I did go against him. I went to Explode. I went to the Mark Luce runner. I just think he took all, he did all the heavy lifting in that Call It a Wrap race.
And ran great.
He ran a big race. He's had nice timing. They were going to run him on BC Cup Day, and they held him out. Or sorry, not BC Cup Day, on the sale stake day, and they ended up not running him. But this horse, I think he's sitting on a big one. Call It a Wrap, you could argue, is the top 2-year-old around right now as far as the boys end, and this guy, ran, I thought, a better race even than Call It a Wrap last time. So I'm going to Explode over a couple of the McPherson runners. I like that day as well. Just beat a nose by Move On. He's by New Year's Day. That's a very good win early stallion, and it looks like he's progressing nicely. He's come back with a nice work. Enrique Gonzalez rides him. And I threw in the other New Year's Day. Craig's got 2 New Year's Day in here. Yeah, the other Craig McPherson, the one that Hamill lands on this New Year's Day out of a Smart Strike mare, Shadow Steel, bred and owned by the Canyon Farms. They do a good job, and he's got a couple bullets on his form. And Hamill McPherson, Hamill would probably get the crack at the liver ones. So I went 6, 2, and 3 in the second. On the third, 4 non-2 for 3 and up Colts and Geldings. This is a good non-2, going 6.5 furlongs. So Glenn Todd's got a couple of bullets, it looks like, in here. I went to the newcomer, one that he bought off of Doug O'Neill, Aurora de Oro, Mine Shaft Colt. It's non-winners of 2, broke his maiden for maiden 20, lost Alback on the 29th of June. As I mentioned earlier with Papa, we've seen these horses coming up from California that don't necessarily have great form on them, but have been very tough, especially in our conditional races. We saw it with Moon Man and Papa. And,
they've been successful, the California shippers.
And then Rio... Red Hot Rio the other night, a bunch of those horses coming from other places. In the condition race is very tough. This guy comes in here straight into a 4 non-2. I'm going to make him my top pick over Glenn's other horse, Got My Mo, who figures in here. He's running 16 non-3s, broke his maiden in a maiden 8 by daylight, 1 by 5, just like breaking sticks. Now in for 4 non-2, he has to be respected. And I put Great Blake, was claimed last time by Rob Maben. He's run good races, third in a conditional 16, going 6.5, 2 starts ago. I believe he bled pretty bad last time, so he's had some time off, come back, worked nice and easy. Dennis Arrojo rides him. I've been with a third spot. I went 5, 3, and 7.
I have the same 3 horses. I just Got My Mo on top, just has speed, chased Papa last time.
Yeah.
And, of course, you like Papa for 35.
Yeah, exactly.
Got My Mo's got to be pretty light for 4. So I put that one in. Aurora de Oro, I know the horse was claimed. It was returned because it was a vet. It was, lame.
Yeah.
It was a vet returned. That's what the V means beside the claiming price. It was actually claimed but returned to the original owners. And so they've chosen to move them on and get him on an easier circuit, and Richard Hamill will ride for Glenn Todd's. I think Glenn, of course, should run 1-2 in here. I agree. The Great Blake's the next one. 3-5-7 for me in the third. On to the fourth race. 12-5 older horses going a mile and a 16th.
That's
a
good race.
Speed in here with, there is a bit of speed with Heartset. All under control. Sunset Drive shows speed at times, and let Sergeant Ricks run a series of good races and is getting down to a level where he should win a race. So I like him to win it over the 2 Heartset, who was very game in defeat. 23-3, 46-4, 111 flat. He's out there just duking it out. and ended up losing the battle on the head end, but he still held well and ran fourth. So I thought 6 and 2 were your top two horses in here, and I put the 7-horse Royal Briar in for third. Closed up, but did have good fractions to run at. I don't know if you're going to get that kind of pace for Royal Briar, but I went 6, 2, and 7. I thought those were your three horses in here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's tough. I had trouble with this race. I like Sergeant Rick. I'm with you that he's my top pick. I mean, he's not a single for me.
No, I hate singling horses that come from...
Yeah, exactly. And then all of a sudden they're walking up front. But I do have Sergeant Rick on top. I agree with Royal Briar. This is a horse making his 12th start of 2018. He's only got one win, but he's 9 of 11 in the money. So keep him, exactly. Keep him in your tries. Royal Briar, and I threw in All Under Control, just like it.
Yep, I can see it.
Yeah, he's been running tough races, and good second behind Lucky Ending last time, going a mile and 3/8. Maybe back now sprinting. He's come back with a nice work in 101 and 2 for David Lopez. All Under Control in third. Sunset Drive and City Steel, Heart Set, those are horses I left out.
Salzburg's cool. He ran a good race.
He ran a big race last time. He looked like he was, I thought he was like going to at least hit the board last time at the head of the lane.
This is a good race.
It is a tough race. I went 6, 7, 3 in the fourth. On to the fifth. 3 and up, 4,000 horses who have not hit the board at the meet. Going to mile 16th, unless you've hit the board in one of these races in this condition. They're not cruel enough to write you up for running second in a race like this. And some of these races, we saw, this was the third time we've run this race this year. The first time they ran it, basically the second time they ran it was the same horses. There are some newcomers to this category this time. That makes it a little bit different. A few girls in here. I went to the 3 We Found Gold. Running in way tougher races. He hasn't been setting the world on fire. But he's been running against really tough horses like Mighty Fraser, Ida Goodis, Burnham, Born on the Track, Shooting Jacket. The odds are good. Kermode. The horses, his company lines
are way better.
Are better than anybody in here. So I'm going to put We Found Gold on top. Free and Fast for the Hall of Famer Harold Barabee. Another one, running against. This is a filly, mind you, a mare running against the boys here. But Tattooed Kitty, Jazz Lady. And another one that has pretty solid company lines in here.
Her best races are going long. No, she's not a sprinter.
Yeah, exactly. And that was exactly that.
3
was
wins
sprinting.
last year. We're all
now she gets to go long again. And my Eye Candy, the horse that has been the runner-up in this category the last 2 times. I threw him in for third. I went 3, 4, and 7.
I had no idea in here.
All
the horses are like there's 5 colts and geldings in here, 3 mares, and the ones that are dropping have not participated very well lately. We Found Gold and Killarney Kid are both like what it's tough to get overly confident with them. Laguna Blaze is interesting. I went We Found Gold but I don't love the horse at all. This horse gets in light and
he's just been run against the toughest horses.
And Killarney Kid I threw in. Obviously an easier assignment for him. He's been freshened up a bit and a couple of decent works and gets Hamel, so that's a plus. And I put Laguna Blaze in the mix as well. He's been off for about a month, a little over a month now. But his race last time wasn't bad at all behind Cedarburg, Santa Fe Trail, and next out winner Taka's Charm. So I thought that was all right too. I went 3, 6, 5 in the 5th. On to the 6th race. Once again, $4,000 claimers. This time it's for non-winners of 4 this year, or non-winners since April the 20th.
A true non-winners.
A true non-winners. Mile 16th will be the distance, and I like the 7 Santa Fe Trail. Kind of followed him his last couple of starts, and going to go without blinkers. He was the one sitting very close to a brutal pace, 23 and 2, 46 and 2, 111 and 4, and he's sitting right on it and still finished well. It's a horse like Pfeiffer who was battling on the head end. The 4-horse ended up 8 lengths back, but still he's worth a look as well. But I thought Santa Fe Trail. I think the fractions are going to be a lot kinder.
I don't see it not as much gas
as
in
crazy
here,
as it was last time. Tornado has speed. Brother Brian runs well going along. I mean, those 2 horses are interesting. They didn't draw well, but it's a difficult race. I put Alpha Uno in for second. Really no excuses last time. Had a good trip, maybe a little too close to the pace. We'll see, but Alpha Uno has a good late kick, and he's at his best going a mile on the 16th. And I'm not giving up on Pfeiffer. He was off for a couple months last time, and then was just cooked on the pace in his latest, and I think he'll appreciate maybe a 47 or a 48 flat opening half. It might be a little kinder for Pfeiffer, and he may last a lot longer. I went 7, 1, and 4, but I've left out E. Taylor, Brother Brian, who's been sharp, Tornador, who's been very good as well. And it was a difficult race, but 7-1-4.
I'm with you. It's not like he's a single again, but
No,
Santa Fe Trail has run 2 very good races back to back. I don't think he was getting anything out of those first few races. In his last 2 races, he's got something to build on. They take the blinkers off today. Santa Fe Trail, I agree with Alpha Uno. He had a really strong year here. Didn't run a great race last time, but he deserved to, kind of throw one. He's been battling hard in all his races.
Too close,
so
yeah, Amadeo will get him farther back.
Yeah, exactly. Amadeo will let him relax. And Tornador, just a rock solid horse, shows up every time. 7 for 8 in the money this year. Granted, that's mostly been in non-2s and non-3s. Now the waters get a little bit deeper, but this isn't a crazy tough race. So I'm keeping him in. And as you mentioned, without a lot of speed in here, he could try and carry them a long way. Number 9, Tornador. I went 7, 1, and 9. In the 6th, on to the 7th, the nightcap. A 4, non-3, going 6.5 furlongs. Field of 7, and I went to the 7. Good as they get for trainer Mel Snow. He's from that strong What Are the Odds family. Still a non-3. He's run some big races. Yeah. He's kind of like his brother. It took forever to break his maiden. What's the one that just broke his maiden?
Running with Panhandle and them.
Yeah, exactly. The names always get me. But good as they get, the chances are, yeah, exactly. It took him a while to break his maiden. Good as they get, running against very tough horses. Like first or second on the box this year, second behind Access This, a good horse of Peter Reddekopp's. Running against Sanawar, My Grayson, Red Hot Rio most recently in that 8 non-3 into a 4 non-3. Running against horses that are like kind of in the 4 non-3 category. He's been in the 8 non-3 category. He's the only one coming down. I think he's the boss now. I got good as they get over Stone Ridge Ruler, who's had 2 great runner-ups events in this category. Last time behind the very tough Tornador that we see in the race before. Stone Ridge Ruler fits in here under Amadeo Perez. And I threw I Am a Better Cause for Pat Jarvis, good third, just behind Stone Ridge Ruler in the last heat of this race. He's only run twice this year too, so this
got some upside.
The timing is a little better with this race than it was for the last race. I went 7, 1, and 6.
I have the same 3 horses. I just put Stone Ridge Ruler on top. I just think he has maybe a little tactical edge on Good as They Get, and I Am a Better Cause. I think he'll get the lead, and there's no speed in the race, and I think Stone Ridge Ruler could be tough to beat. Might get that elusive first win of the year, or first win in 2 years. But Stone Ridge Ruler, I think, is in a very good spot, a good opportunity anyway. And Amadeo Perez rides, but I agree with Good as They Get. Very live in here. It's the horse to beat, dropping from 8 down to the 4. And I put the 6 in for third. I Am a Better Cause. So at 1, 7, and 6 to close things out. On the Wednesday evening program, that'll do it for our analysis. Next up on screen will be a quick recap of our picks. Back in race number 1, I did go to the 1. That was Hanson's Victory. I got to go 1, 4, and 5. Race number 2, I went to 4, Whiskey Bound. Bit of an upset, maybe. 4, 6, and 2 for me in the second. Race number 3, the Glen Todd duo of number 3, Got My Mo and Aurora de Oro. I think are the boss in here. I went 3, 5, and 7. Race number 4. I went to the 6-horse Sergeant Rick, coming from off the pace, but it is a wide open event, 6, 2, and 7. Race number 5, another wide open event. Tough to rely on any of them. I went to the 3, We Found Gold, over the 6, Clarny Kid, and the 5, Laguna Blaze. Race number 6, going to go to the 7, Santa Fe Trail. Going to go 7, 1, and 4. And then the 7th and final, I went to the 1-horse Stone Ridge Ruler. I'm going to go 1, 7, and 6.
On to my picks, there we go. Back in the first, I went to the 5, the California Invader, one last out. Number 5, Papa, 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 over the 1 and the 4. In the second race, I went to Mark Luce's number 6, Explode, over the 2 and the 3. In the third race, I went the other way. Me and Mike both have the Glen Todd horses 1, 2. I went the other way. I went to Aurora de Oro, the 5, over the 3 and the 7. In the fourth, I agree with Mike on number 6, Sergeant Rick, over the 7 and the 3. In the fifth, this might be an all-button race. I did go to the 3. We Found Gold. That's an all-button race. Over the 4 and the 7. In the 6th, I went to the 7, Santa Fe Trail, over the 1 and the 9. And the nightcap, I went to a horse that would probably be your likely favorite, number 7, Good as They Get, over the 1 and the 6.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in to Handicapper's Corner. Just a quick reminder, it's a very busy week. Once again,
we've got a lot of action.
Yes.
Wednesday night we got racing, which we discovered.
Right.
Thursday night we're here at the Derby Bar and Grill
for the Derby, for the
sales
preview. Sale catalog preview.
Friday night.
You can have it. Rest up.
You can have the
Get
night
your
off.
Derby form, study.
You're going to need the night off, because then Saturday, our biggest day of the year, BC Derby Day, of course, the Oaks, the 2
$500,000 in purses.
The Delta Colleen and the
Randall.
SW Randall. So 6 races on tap that day. We race Sunday, Monday is the preview at Thunderbird.
At 3 o'clock at
3 o'clock.
Thunderbird Show Park on 272nd or 248th and 72nd.
248th and 72nd, that's
And
right.
of course the popular Thunderbird Show Park. That's on the Monday. That's the preview. We're just previewing the yearlings. And then on Tuesday, also at 3 o'clock, will be the sale itself, where all the horses will go up for auction. So very busy time here as we continue through a very busy Derby weekend, and should be a lot of fun. And as of taping, if you're watching the show a little later today on Tuesday, don't forget we do have the North American Thoroughbred Horse Company preview of their 5 yearlings at Keenbridge Farm, which is on 232nd and about 3rd Avenue. It'll be well marked. You'll be able to see it, but it's on 232nd and almost at 0, but it's on about 3rd Avenue or 2nd. They're going to be parading a Shanghai Bobby, a couple of painters who are a very hot stallion, Icebox, and Point Gibbon. Those are the 5 stallions that'll be are the 5 stallions of the yearlings that'll be up for auction from the North American Thoroughbred Company contingent that will be obviously for sale on Tuesday. So come on out. That's tonight at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And there'll be refreshments and everything there. On behalf of Drew, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next time here on Handicapper.
We'll be back here on Thursday.
We will have the Thursday show. We'll be doing Saturday, of course, the special Derby. Be another busy day. Derby day as well as Sunday. So we'll have 2 shows for you on Thursday, so do check us out. Thanks, Drew.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, all of you, and we'll see you next time here on Handicapper's Corner.
I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do.